Now, I don't know about you, but as a gamer, I obviously enjoy nothing more than a cheap, soulless, cash grab, nostalgia bait remake with a little bit of Vogue sprinkled on top. Nothing gets me more excited than that, honestly.
When a remake says faithful adaptation all over the marketing material, I instantly wave a red flag because they could just let the product speak for itself, but instead they have to try to convince you that they're doing their best job possible. And with the
Yeah, I mean, let's be real. Look at this. Ignoring the obvious outfit differences, like, just look at the face. How is this 20 plus year old thing actually more feminine than whatever in the name of Aloy was this attempt?
Gothic remake, we now know that they are censoring and really uglifying all of the females in this title. And now the moderators over on the Steam forums are silencing anybody who's criticizing this decision. I
Absolutely based. I would like to personally thank whoever is remaking Gothic to for the fact that they are going to be putting food on my table, because with thumbnails like this, you cannot lose, okay? Listen, it is what it is. Thank you, the people at the studio remaking this. You have made me money while sacrificing your own job safety. I appreciate it greatly.
have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, I did another video on the Gothic remake, it'll be linked down below, but I had a bad feeling about this. I wanted it to come out and be good. Truly, genuinely, Gothic is so cool, but in a time where the social justice warriors will scream about how orcs are just misunderstood and they were originally created to be, I don't know, representations of black people, which if you see that in an orc, you're probably the racist. And in a game where really the humans are, of course, slaves, yeah, I had a bad feeling that they would butcher this. And now we know the first major problem is the character designs. Whenever a game features some sort of prison setting and there are females who are used and abused and, slaves, you always know that their story is going to be changed. They're always going to be the heroes of their own tale.
Empowered, man. I love nothing more than an empowered woman. Okay, and if you did not know, I'm actually a black trans woman, which has been canonical on this channel for roughly 2 years now, by the way. So I do not want to hear any bigoted opinions about that one. Okay, I am the most special of snowflakes, and there's nothing you can do about it. Okay, otherwise that's racist. And man, I have to say, I absolutely adore this. How many actual remakes have we had where vocalification has not happened of gaming? Close to none, probably, because even the successful ones, for example, uh, obviously Bethesda's the Oblivion remake, even those were censored. They actually did this to pretty much everything in the game. I mean, only the Flame Atronox did actually not receive this type of treatment. Everything else was actually censored. The thing is, just no one actually remembers anything about the original Oblivion. I didn't even play it, so I did not know even if, that it was censored. But no, they actually did all of it. And yeah, this is what they do. This is what they're always gonna do.
Their designs are going to be toned
Also, I don't know about you, but I am personally extremely non-binary. I will not buy this no matter what.
down, and that exact thing is happening here. I mean, we've got Littlefoot from the Land Before Time with her long, long neck. You've got, oh my gosh,
Ah,
what looks
yes.
like the ugly stepsister in Shrek. I mean, this is just abysmal. As
Oh,
a
don't you downgrade Shrek's ugly stepsister. She had more charisma than that.
woman myself, I want to see pretty female characters. I want to see cool looking outfits. And in such a dark game and setting, yeah, it's not a shocker to see that it has been modernized. The same thing happened with something like Dragon Age.
And in before these same people are gonna say, there's literally no way to make them look different. It is literally impossible. Which is the dumbest argument ever, but it's actually being used in so many different places in gaming. Old games did X thing to make the games look better. And new game comes out, which is a sequel to that, like 20 years down the line, and it actually looks worse. And then the developers come out. There is literally no technology to make it look like it did before. Like, what do you mean? Well, how the hell was the first game made? Did it just magically appear in existence? Like, what do you mean? There's no technology to make it look good. And this, I bet you someone is already making the excuse that, oh no, this is just the limitations of modern day technology. It's impossible to make women look like women, okay? Stellar Blade was a fluke.
Used to be much darker, grittier. Now, of course,
You know what I'm actually waiting? I'm waiting on the inevitable Bayonetta remaster remake or whatever you want to call it. And Freudian slip, and then we can cry about what happens there.
it's more politically correct, and Gothic is politically correct as well. Now, if you don't know, Tencent bought THQ Nordic, the publisher of this, back in 2014. It was actually one of their first large acquisitions in the video game industry, and after that, I didn't ever really trust any product that was THQ Nordic labeled. I don't trust Embracer at all whatsoever, and it seems that maybe these developers just believe in social justice. Maybe they had certain guidelines they had to follow.
Maybe they're just stupid.
Either way, this is a game that is definitely not going to be purchased by me, and I don't think a lot of people are going to want to buy it now. And it's also so important to point out that even these versions of the characters that you originally saw and probably loved and thought looked cool were actually already censored, because in the original German versions, these women were nude. They were given these costumes, like Valaya in Gomez's room. She was originally nude. I think it was in a bathtub, so they were already like toned back, but the
Based.
designs looked cool and they made sense to the setting. But in the case of these new designs, they look horrendous. I mean, their faces look terrible, their body proportions look really weird. Come on now, nobody wants to keep these women as slaves. Let's be honest. And well, gamers were very upset with this decision to heavily censor and ultimately uglify these women. Not every woman in a game needs to be some 10 out of 10 bombshell, but they at least need to look attractive, and people took.
No, this is the thing. This is also what I hate about wokeness in general. The fact that they don't understand this, actually. Their first and, well, honestly, their last argument is, oh, you just want everything to be Gunner bait. I mean, if I have to choose between that and Gunner bait, I'm obviously picking Gunner bait. Everyone is, in fact. But no, women just should kind of look like women, okay? There is an extremely long history of women in gaming that have not been hot, but we have not complained about. I wonder why. I wonder how that's possible. Yes.
To the Steam forums, they are being censored. I had done a video previously, like I mentioned. I showed off some of these threads that are now missing, like this one. Hey devs, why did you censor the female characters? I thought this was supposed to be a faithful remake. So why did you censor the revealing outfits from the female characters that were present in the original? This was posted on November 19th. Let's scroll on down to November 19th. And as you can see, it was deleted. There are several different tabs that I actually still had open. Too much political correctness. That one is removed. I just refreshed my webpage. Game got modernized. I think this one's still up. This one is up, but yes, it is locked, and a moderator marked it as putting all these topics in one place because Jesus Christ. So let me make this clear to everyone. If you have real concerns about the models of our game, we are more than happy to hear from you in a constructive manner. This toxic hostility will not work, and I will purge the forums for it. So this
Damn.
mod is clearly on a power trip. Their name is Zaidi, and this person is just locking threads, deleting them, purging them, as they said. And this
And then people are gonna be like, "Oh wow, the Gothic remaster was an absolute bust, and no one wanted it." I wonder how that happened. And then there's gonna be some the other crowd that's gonna say, "It was a success. It sold 5 copies and went on a 99.999% discount 3 seconds after release, but it was a success." And if that's not a success, then what actually can even be considered a success anymore in this world? And ironically, that was actually exactly the playbook they used for what was the Xbox South of Midnight? That one. That was actually, and ironically, the playbook they used for that when it got like 2K concurrent users and sold like 20K copies or something like that. People would unironically, well, if this is not a success, I don't know what is. Yes, you can't make this up. You can't. It's true what they said. Fiction will never rival reality in how absolutely insane it can get.
isn't toxic hostility. This is just somebody saying the game got modernized RIP with images. That is not hostile. That is somebody criticizing. These people do not know what criticism is, and they constantly say, ooh, we allow constructive.
Well, to be fair, these people assume everything is criticism. That's kind of that would be more accurate in verse, honestly.
Conversations and criticisms, but they don't. They are straight up lying. And there are tons of different threads that are being either posted and locked or straight up removed. I just showed several that were removed. Criticism isn't toxicity. Stop silencing feedback. It's honestly ironic to see you calling the community toxic while shutting down legitimate criticism by lumping everyone together as trolls and clown emote farmers. Players raise genuine concerns about censorship and changes to the game, and instead of addressing them, you dismiss the entire discussion and threaten to purge the forums. That's not constructive moderation. That's silencing feedback. I believe that forums like this need to have some
Bloodlines 2 did the same thing through. They actually did. And we all know how poorly Bloodlines performed.
sort of system.
Now, granted, Gothic is an old franchise. I know of it. You probably also have heard of it. I never played it. I had the chance to play it, but I don't remember what I actually picked instead of it as a kid. Probably do not regret the decision, though. In any case, yeah, this is the same thing as Bloodlines 2. Only difference is Bloodlines 2 has an actual cult following because it's the World of Darkness franchise. And, well, Gothic is a household name, but at this point, I don't know how it's gonna turn out, but at this point, just from this situation alone, I don't know how close it is to release. I don't know what's happening or anything, but just from this situation alone, maybe a 3K player peak. Maybe we're looking at a 3K player peak. I'm not 100% sure, but it kind of sounds like that situation.
Where you can downvote a moderator's decisions. And so the people that actually own the game can see this feedback and see if there's 5,000 downvotes on a moderator's decision, they could choose at that point to
Wait, is this game out?
move the moderator off the team and add a new moderator. I think that that would be much better so that these companies actually maybe can fix a situation before it gets out of control, but then you run into the issue of people at this company.
I honestly would prefer if they didn't fire the guy or remove him, because let's be real, at this point, if they fix the situation, that would just mean that they are hiding what's happening, and then people will not. Then people will have a false narrative spun to them, and that's not a good thing. So I think this person should stay. I think nothing should change. So people know exactly what they're getting in case they actually wanna buy this. Let me actually Google. Gothic Remas remakes SteamDB. Is there such a thing? No, there is no such thing. No, the closest thing that actually shows up is Ghost of Tsushima LOL. Well, so it's not a. So this is not a currently released.
Do ultimately agree with what this moderator is saying. I talk a lot about censorship on this channel because it's so sad to me when people get excited for a product and then it is completely butchered. And what makes it worse is when a moderator says your criticism isn't
I like when this happens to products. I firmly believe that, well, not everything deserves a chance. Not everyone deserves, some form of forgiveness. I think if we get rid of these things, if we have examples of this completely failing, we are saving more things in the future for going this same useless path. So I personally enjoy when these things fail. I like to see things that deserve to fail in general. I don't want everything to magically succeed, even though it doesn't deserve to. I think things that deserve to succeed should succeed. That's how I think about this. Well, in any case, that was Mommy Read a Dark 10 out of 10. Bye!